Hey. I was saying this earlier, is that, when Shaq and Kobe split, Matt, Shaq won a title. Lakers kind of had to eat it for about a year. But then Kobe won a couple titles, and I felt like both of them won. Like, in the end, Shaq's had a great career. Shaq got another ring with D-Wade. And then Kobe had a great ending. Right. And it worked out well for everybody. The Russell Westbrook-Durant divorce, I think Kevin, when I watch him yesterday, I think he's got 7 years left of great player. Russell looks like a broken shooter. It looks like that post-surgery, something's upstairs. You can't go from 82% free throws to 64 and tell me some of it's not mental. What do you make of the Durant-Westbrook? OKC at one point. OKC will argue this, Matt. We didn't choose Westbrook. But organizations enable certain things, so they kind of do choose. The Lakers kind of chose Kobe over Shaq in their own way. What do you make of Durant and OKC and Westbrook and how it's landed?
It's a tough situation. At the time, they were both two of the probably top 5 players in the game at the time. I know, knowing both of them, I'm sure Russell is a more outgoing personality, so maybe they let some things slide that, should have been addressed. But what I see from KD now is he's just happy. He's having fun. He's playing. He's probably the most efficient player, one of the most efficient players ever to play the game. I think it's safe to say he's the best player in the game right now.
Today, best player.
Doesn't make him better than LeBron overall. Just, age is catching up with LeBron. KD is younger. He's the best player in the game right now. But I think what I like out of OKC and West right now is he's finally okay with being Robin. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be huge for not only him, but the franchise, and especially Paul George. Paul George is playing out of his mind right now.
Out of his mind.
And should be, obviously, in the MVP consideration. But Westbrook is still special. I think a lot of it is mental right now. And, when you have the world telling you what you can and can't do. I like what he said. He has that gene. That's an important gene to have. That made me laugh. But I think Russell bounced back next year. But, it's no fault to OKC or whatever. Just KD is that good. And, if they made a choice between the two and he was the one that chose, I think they're looking back like, okay, well, maybe we would have did it this way. But it's hard to say. In hindsight, it's 50-50.
Matt, you said something, and I was talking to a friend about this the other day. And you said right now Kevin Durant's the better player. And I've always said there'll be a time when KD's better on the floor than LeBron, but not greater than LeBron in total.
It's a whole package.
Holistically.
When you judge in history and where they rank. Right. KD is a better player as we stand now.
And I'll throw this at you. And I noticed this with LeBron, that LeBron understands his body. You guys all know your bodies. LeBron doesn't have the continuous juice. He takes more time off. It's more sporadic. He picks his spots, especially on the defensive end. When you watch the two, where do you see LeBron's age?
I just think from a standpoint of, since he's been in the league in his Cleveland years, he's always carried the team. He's always carried the franchise. So, that's going to catch up to you. Not only mentioning, making the playoffs every year, playing the Olympics, playing on all-star games, pickup games in the summer. That's just a lot of wear and tear. And he came right out of high school. You know what I mean? So KD got a year or two in college. You're not playing as many games. You get to save your legs. And then he's always had an amazing sidekick. Now he's got 2 amazing sidekicks, 3 when, Boogie gets healthy. So KD has been able to preserve himself. That's why you see him in the finals. He's at his absolute best where everyone else might be tired. KD is full of juice because he's only doing what he needs to do. People talk about James Harden MVP, Paul George MVP. They have to be amazing every single night for those guys to win. Even though KD is pretty amazing every single night, if he has an off night, the Warriors can still win a game. So that's where KD is able to save his legs. So LeBron just has always had to do so much, and with the Laker team this year, it is no different. I feel this Laker team in the East would be top 3.
You do?
I think so. Maybe top 4. Excuse me, not to disrespect the top. Toronto, Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. So maybe top 5. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. But he's always been able to. He's always had to carry the franchise, and this year is no different. So I just think it's finally catching up to him. As much money as he spends and as much time as he takes off, there's no denying that he just has a lot of miles on his body.
Anthony Davis, I didn't buy this. Anthony Davis said 29 teams. I'm open to the world. Right. And my takeaway is, listen, you and Rich Paul in Clutch Sports came out hyper-aggressive, and the league didn't like it, and you got your hand slapped.
Right.
And now you're trying to play nice.
Backdraft, yeah.
Is that what
he's just trying to say what's right. So hopefully the story dies down a little bit. Like you said, I saw what you said earlier. I respect the fact that he came out and said what he said, because Pelicans, don't build your team around me anymore because I don't want to be here. So you have to respect that. Now, whether, Rich Paul went above and beyond and wanted a lot of attention in the situation and came out and maybe they approached it the right way or the wrong way, but I got to respect AD for being honest. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be here. And I think when that happened, instead of putting their business hats on, like, let's make this deal, the Pelicans got in their feelings, and the GM was fired over that. I'm glad the Lakers didn't make that trade because I thought they were giving up too much.
So did I.
You're giving up way too much. You're never going to get an AD back. AD is a generational player, but you had 5 solid players with draft picks, and you turn your nose up to it. Like, you're not in a position to turn your nose up to a situation like that. You know what I mean? So it didn't work out. The GM got fired. But to me, they've been in their feelings, and now you're going to play him 20 minutes, 25 minutes, don't play him in the 4. If you don't want him to get hurt, don't play him. But if you're going to play him, let him play. You know what I mean? Let him play.
If you ran the Pelicans, you could make an argument, just sit Anthony for the year.
I'm not mad at that. But if you going to decide to play him, play him. You're putting Alvin Gentry in a messed up spot. I know Al, good coach, and he's probably going to, he's probably on the hot seat. He probably won't be back next year. And it's unfortunate because, to me, as the president of the team or whoever's calling the shots, if you want to save your piece, which is AD, and don't play him at all. But don't play him 15 minutes. Don't play him 25 minutes. Either play him or don't play him. But I think, that situation is going to have to be dealt with this summer because it's an uncomfortable work environment. And I'm sure players are getting frustrated. Coaches are getting frustrated. AD's probably frustrated. So, at the end of the day, they're going to have to make a move this summer on that situation.
Finally, something I mentioned. I said, if you were a supermodel and then after 20 years of doing that, you've been reduced, even though you're beautiful, you've been reduced to going to the local mall at a fashion show, it doesn't feel the same. When you're LeBron and you're the centerpiece of the league, and for the next 30 games, this is not a championship team.
Right.
I mean, it's not close. Mm-mm. Is it hard to go to work?
I don't think it's hard to go to work. I think because he loves the game, but I think it's an understanding. I think everyone's making a big deal with the Lakers make the playoffs, or they not. The Lakers they care about championships, not making the playoffs. You know what I mean? So if they make the playoffs this year, it'll probably be a short exit. They'll probably end up playing Golden State. I think they know that they're really banking on this summer. And one thing I like to say, even if they don't get AD, it won't be a failed summer because I still feel they're going to get somebody, maybe a player or two. Ideally, it would be AD, and I know AD wants to be there, and LeBron wants him there. But if it's not AD, I think it'll be somebody. But I think they're looking for, take a look at this next year and the year after and judge us. But unfortunately, we live in a society where you're judged every single day, and you're LA and you're the Lakers, so you're going to be judged. And like Joy said earlier, it's going to be a hot summer if they don't make the playoffs, and there's going to be a lot of criticism on LeBron. But I think he knew coming here there was a chance of that, and he has to be ready for it if it doesn't happen.
Yeah. Great seeing you, man. Love having you. Are you like a regular now? Can we depend on you?
I think so, yeah.
I like that.
I need to start getting my suits tailored. All my suits that I wore in games don't fit no more. I think I'm like 15 pounds over my playing weight, so I need to get some more suits so I can come back more.
This place is good with the clothes thing. So they'll take care of you.
Let's do it.
All right. Good seeing you, man.
Thank you.
NBA champ Matt Barnes. Coming up next, why Kyler Murray is great for you as a fan. Why 5'8", 5'9", Kyler Murray, Oklahoma quarterback, is great for all of us. That's coming up. When the really ugly weather hits, and yes, even in Los Angeles, it has been a rough 6 weeks. The performance of your wiper blades can make the difference. Introducing Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. Smart Flex technology, okay? Unparalleled, streak-free, squeak-free, long-lasting performance. Doesn't matter if it's a light drizzle or a snowstorm. Michelin's got you prepared. Their engineers have developed the perfect blades for any weather. They truly hug your windshield. They automatically flex to the curve of the glass. So be ready for whatever lies ahead. Michelin Premium Wiper Blades. If you want to have better visibility and see more clearly and drive more safely, there is one answer. Available at Walmart, Amazon, Pep Boys, and other fine retailers. And not only are we in the middle of winter and we're getting massive snow, Denver west in this country, cold temperatures everywhere, massive snowstorms out west. We got spring coming up, and that's 7 to 10 weeks of drizzle and rain. It's The Herd.